Currently, the temperature is 88 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Our local Doppler radar. Today, partly cloudy and windy with a slight chance of thunderstorms. High 90. Winds west at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. For tonight, isolated thunderstorms during the evening, mainly clear skies after midnight. Low 79. Winds west-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. On Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 93. Our 7-day outlook.
Real-time reports from those in Irene's past at weather.com/social.
Right now, preparations and evacuations are underway as Hurricane Irene spins closer and closer to the U.S. More than 9 million people are under hurricane warning, and that number could go up.
Irene is massive, and we are talking about an extreme threat for North Carolina and cities throughout the coast like New York, Boston, Philadelphia. And we have live team coverage plus expert analysis that you will not find anywhere else. The Day Planner starts right now. And you're looking live here at Nags Head, North Carolina, where folks here are bracing for Hurricane Irene. The Outer Banks of North Carolina will start to feel the effects of this very dangerous and large storm later on tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Day Planner. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Heather Tash. And right now, Hurricane Irene is a strong Category 2 hurricane, but it is expected to strengthen, possibly into a major hurricane, before raking across the Outer Banks of North Carolina on Saturday.
Now, we really cannot stress enough how dangerous and devastating this storm could be. Here's a look at the watches and the warnings. A hurricane warning in effect from Little River Inlet, North Carolina, all the way up to Sandy Hook, New Jersey. That means hurricane conditions are expected during the next 36 hours.
Hurricane watches span from Sandy Hook, New Jersey to the Merrimack River in Massachusetts. Now, this does include New York City, Boston, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. So here's more information on Hurricane Irene. Coney Island Hospital is evacuating patients as we speak. 241 have been transported to other hospitals. There will be no emergency department operations over the weekend.
More than 200 emergency responsive vehicles have been sent to aid during and after Hurricane Irene. New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg says he'll decide by tomorrow morning whether to order a general evacuation of low-lying areas.
And our experts are closely tracking Irene's progress here at the Weather Channel. And Carl Parker is joining us now. And, you know, Carl, when we look at Irene, we've talked so much about, you know, various impacts. But one thing that we haven't covered quite as much is this could really affect transportation and communication.
Absolutely. I mean, you could be talking about stoppages that go on for days or maybe even weeks. This is a hugely populated area, the 95 corridor. This could be a storm for the ages across that region. Let's show you the latest on the storm now. Category 2, but I don't want you to be lulled into a sense of complacency. Maybe you've been through a Category 2 and thought it wasn't that bad. Well, maybe that was a small Category 2. This is a huge storm on the order of Hurricane Ike. Very low pressure, tremendous atmospheric disturbance. And as we look at the storm, it doesn't have an incredibly intense core. It's very, very strong, not incredibly intense, but it's got a huge wind field. Already those tropical storm force winds beginning to come into the coast here. I want to show you the wave heights there coming up along the coast as well. We're talking about getting up to near 20 feet. There's the rain, by the way. The leading edge of that rain now coming into North Carolina, but the core of the storm may not move in until tomorrow morning, maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So you're talking about 18 hours of weather here, a very, very long duration event. That's just getting to the core of the storm. Look at the wave heights here, 30 feet offshore in the white, already coming up along the coast there. So the storm moving in as a Category 2, may be stronger, may pick up some energy from the Gulf Stream, really devastating the Outer Banks most likely, and then continuing up into these heavily populated areas. And again, we've not seen something like this for a long, long time. You have to go back to 1960, even 1944 to find a comparable storm. We want to go to Jeff Morrow now. He is in Atlantic Beach in North Carolina. And Jeff, again, talking about the long duration event here. And that's one of the big reasons why the beaches are really going to get one heck of a workout in North Carolina.
Yeah, probably where I'm standing will be awash with water as we head through the high tide cycle tonight, and definitely into tomorrow morning. We expect the worst of it here during the morning hours tomorrow. Now, as you head a little bit farther up the banks, out onto the Outer Banks out there at Hatteras Island, the surf has been kicking up now. That's a huge surfing area anyway. It's a mecca for surfers on the eastern seaboard, but boy, they've had their work cut out for them. This Irene surf has really been coming up very, very strong, and you can see that even since yesterday when some of these pictures were taken, the waves were high. They're even a lot higher now. Here in Atlantic Beach, I mean, we've got wave heights here probably easily 6, 7, 8 feet high, and they're going to get well up over 10 to 15 feet, even on shore here before all is said and done. Speaking of Hatteras, the tides up there, here's the tide cycle. 5:58 p.m. is the next high tide today, and then what is a little alarming is the 6:13 a.m. tide tomorrow morning. Now, again, the eye is probably going to pass by the banks sometime during the morning to maybe the noon hour tomorrow. If we can get it more toward the low tide, that would be a lot better. If it comes in more toward the high tide, we could have some major issues. Then another high tide at 6:45 p.m. Late tomorrow afternoon. So again, it's all a matter of timing here. Right now we're looking at a strong Category 2. Everybody just has their fingers crossed here, Maria, that it doesn't get any stronger than that. Back to you.
All right, Jeff, appreciate it. Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, Irene's been kind of behaving well regarding the forecast even over the last few days. So now we're getting into that window where that window of prep time is beginning to close, and we can pinpoint now when and what you'll be seeing. Here in Norfolk, Virginia, later on tonight is when we're going to really start to see those conditions deteriorate. Tomorrow morning in through the day, on Saturday into the evening is when we expect the worst conditions. We're talking the rain, the wind, and the surge. And we're looking at possibly 21 hours at least of tropical winds. And you see Atlantic City, the worst of it, coming late Saturday into Sunday. Heather?
All right, thank you so much. And the Weather Channel is Hurricane Central. We have live continuous coverage of Hurricane Irene on air and online at weather.com. We're going to take you through this entire hurricane. Stay with us. Also, there's much more right now right here on Day Planner. We continue tracking Hurricane Irene with live coverage across the Northeast. The latest timeline of the storm is coming up.